It's Hurricane Ian. We have been closely monitoring the Florida Disaster Fund. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Russ McCaskey.
And I'm Nicole Gabe in for Amanda Hall. Now, as of Friday, the entire $63 million raised through the fund had been allocated to service organizations across the state. Now, many of those groups right here in Lee County, Collier Community Foundation received $125,000, Charlotte Local Education Foundation $700,000, DeSoto County Education Foundation $600,000, and Lee BIA Builders Care $400,000. That's just to name a few here. Now, Wink Investigates reporter Kelly Miller has been following that money, and Kelly, several viewers recently asked for an update on the fund and which organizations that it has reached. What can you tell us?
Well, Nicole, the money has gone to more than 70 service organizations, including well-known names like Feeding Florida, the Collaboratory, and Bridge a Life. Now, the complete list is provided by the Volunteer Florida Foundation, which manages the fund. Now, recently I visited a local nonprofit called Better Together to find out how the funds made an impact on them. Neighbors helping neighbors. Floridians helping Floridians.
Thank you.
Americans helping Americans. The First Lady tapped into that core belief that we step up when disaster strikes. Between September 28th and July, people from pretty much everywhere donated $63.2 million to Florida's disaster fund.
We're incredibly grateful for those funds, and it was great to be able to take those funds and put them to good use for the families that we knew really could benefit.
Megan Rose is the CEO of Better Together. The organization's mission is to offer a lifeline to struggling families trying to stay together through hardship. Hurricane Ian certainly qualifies.
Right after the storm, we quickly realized that this was catastrophic for our community, and there was a significant need.
Better Together volunteers jumped into action. They provided physical necessities like food and diapers and emotional support to families coping with all kinds of sudden loss. The organization was making a difference, and that led to what Rose told me was an unforgettable moment.
Then we got a call out of the blue from the chief of staff for the First Lady and just wanted to know about the work we were doing, the needs we were seeing. And then we were asked to go to Home Depot, aisle 10, and were presented the funds, and we had no idea how much we were getting, what that even looked like.
$400,000 in funds to keep the mission going.
I think the mission and what they do and seeing the lives that we've changed and the families we've helped stay together, I think is the most fulfilling thing I could possibly do.
Jen Downs is a dedicated volunteer with Better Together who opens her home to kids in need.
So we've hosted 3 children. The 3-month-old girl, we had about a 2-year-old boy, and then we had another 3-year-old boy. And seeing how we could help them and then it come full circle to help us, it was good.
After Ian, Jen was the one in need as the hurricane turned her life upside down.
I've not been the kind to ever reach out for help, but knowing that they were there, it felt good.
Better Together stepped in to help Jen and her family, ensuring they would enjoy Christmas despite the challenges posed by Ian's aftermath.
We were able to provide a really good Christmas for my kids. And then a couple of months later when we were, we had walls again in our house, they were able to use some of the funding to help us get appliances. So we have a kitchen now because of Better Together.
A kitchen, a home, and a renewed spirit for helping others in need. And the story goes on. Thanks to the Florida Disaster Fund dollars, Better Together recently launched the Be the Light campaign. Now, this initiative involves supplying solar-powered lights to families in heavily impacted areas. These are the lights. So far, the organization has given out about 500 lights out of the 5,000 ordered. And if you have questions about the Florida Disaster Fund, send me an email. I'll also continue to provide updates on how other groups are using these funds. For Wink Investigates, I'm Kelly Miller. Back to you.